Hey guys, in this video I'll be doing a not too serious comparison between Hadi Choopan and Nick Walker. I'll be using Hadi's Arnold 2024 package, quite possibly his best combination of size, conditioning, and aesthetics, and Nick's 2023 Arnold as well as his most recent guest posing to get an even better perspective on the size improvements that he's made. Many think that Nick should have and could have potentially taken the 2023 Mr. Olympia if he was there, so this video could give us an idea on what to expect later this year at the 2024 Mr. O. Anyways, before the video does start, if you guys could like and sub and also follow my Instagram, it would be much appreciated. With that all being said though, let's get into this video. Alright, the first pose, the front double, is a pretty good shot for both. Although Nick clearly has the wider waist, he has the best set of biceps and triceps in the picture, showing off those monstrous peaks and sweeps that make the shot so freaky. While he's always been criticized for his lagging lower body in the frontal shots, I think that Nick has definitely improved upon his outer quad sweep, which makes the pose that much better. That being said, Hadi absolutely demolishes him in the quad size, as no amount of conditioning could even close the gap for Nick. Hadi also has a superior midsection, comparable lats, and round and full arms. In my opinion, this shot would be very close between these two on stage. However, I think that Hadi would come out on top due to his superb quads, excellent proportions, and better aesthetics. Unfortunately, there's no video footage or good pictures of the front lat spread for Nick Walker, so I won't be comparing them in this pose. However, it is safe to say that Hadi, or pretty much anyone on that stage, would smoke Nick in this pose. Hadi has superior shape, a smaller waist, and better posing, so let's just assume that he would win the front lat spread. Now, moving to the side chest, it is a pretty good shot for these two as both show solid mass and conditioning. Immediately though, I do notice that Nick has more density in the far pec, a rounder delt, and overall a more muscular looking side chest. Hadi looks a bit less dense in the chest and leg, however he shows excellent control and conditioning in the midsection, a better, more separated arm, and a more impressive side leg. This second look is of Nick's 2023 Arnold version and is certainly more fair from a conditioning perspective. I'd have Nick winning in the far pec density still, along with the delt, however Hadi still shows better leg and arm condition. Nick is peeled and has a controlled midsection though, and one could imagine that he will look even bigger than this at the Olympia with comparable conditioning, if not better. The rear double was and still is one of Nick's most powerful poses, while it has become a strength of Hadi's. I wanted to show this version of Nick to highlight the potential hamstring weaknesses that he may present at the 2024 Mr. Olympia, and here it is very clear that his hamstrings aren't as good as they once were. To be fair to him, they do look much better as of late since this guest posing footage isn't too recent. That being said, he does have an incredible back, tremendous biceps, and great shoulders. However, we can't really discern anything for Hadi in terms of detail, so let's bring up a better image. Alright, now we can see Hadi in 4K, and it is super clear to see that he has the edge in the hamstrings, glutes, and even the back thickness. I know Nick isn't stage ready, and I do think that on stage he would rival, if not beat Hadi in the hamstrings, and certainly challenge him in the glutes for that matter. Now, I do think the most important thing to look at is the back, and here I would say that it's very close, if not a tie. It is extremely competitive in this area, as both are similar in width, lower back development, and overall mass. Nick does have superior delts and arms though, which, if both are in stage condition, could be the deciding factor. I'd honestly be confident in saying that Nick would take the pose, however, if Hadi can replicate the level of improvement that he had from the Olympia to the Arnold, I think he might take it this year. In the rear lat spread, you can see the trademark lower body that Nick normally has. His hamstrings look so developed and defined, and I think that this package would definitely defeat Hadi in that area. Hadi probably still has more defined and detailed glutes, however Nick's are extremely dry and conditioned as well. That being said, Hadi easily wins in the back in my opinion, as although they are similar in width, Hadi decimates Nick in sheer lower back thickness, detail, and density. While the lower bodies are competitive with both having very good hamstrings, calves, and glutes, the back is an easy win for Hadi, so I'd say that Hadi would take the pose overall. The side tricep is actually a standout pose for both. Nick looks outstanding, presenting an impeccable flush midsection, immense detail in the side leg, the best tricep, and showcases more width across the shoulders. Hadi looks good as well, showing the better delt between the two, a razor-sharp midsection, and a solid leg. However, the video footage does him no justice, so let's take a look at a clearer image. Now we can really see the intricate details of Hadi's physique, as his midsection, delt, and arm look so dry, shredded, and complete. His chest looks twice as strided as Nick's, and his side leg shows comparable separation, but with a bit more hamstring drop. Still, I would give Nick the advantage in the side leg, while Hadi would get one in the upper half. The only thing I do see Nick winning upstairs would be the tricep. However, Hadi isn't too far behind and beats Nick almost everywhere else. In terms of pure aesthetics, I do prefer Hadi here because even though he looks more closed off and doesn't open up as much, he is shredded, statuesque, and dense simultaneously. Nick does look good, however, I do just prefer Hadi here. I think that this pose would be closer. Actually, it is very close and might objectively go to Nick if they are in similar condition at the Olympia. However, Hadi's improvements in this pose might be enough to win as well. The ab and thigh is one of, if not Hadi's best pose, while it has always been a surprisingly good one for Nick. Hadi has some of the best abs and probably the best midsection in the game right now, possessing near perfect control over it. He can pull a deep vacuum, crunch down hard, and have a perfectly developed set of abs, or flex his ripped and shredded serratus and obliques. Nick, on the other hand, arguably has more developed abs, with each of them looking like bricks in a stone wall. He doesn't have the smallest midsection or the prettiest physique by any means. However, his taper is there, his quads are diced, and he looks solid. This clearer comparison reveals that Hadi might just be on an entirely different level, as his midsection is twice as detailed, developed, and defined. This might just be one of the best ab and thighs in the history of the sport, as Hadi, most certainly has one of the most objectively best midsections, insanely developed quads, and a great V-taper. There are zero flaws that I can really see for Hadi, while Nick has a wide waist, lagging quads, and not the best proportions. This shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, as Hadi easily wins the pose. The most muscular is the last pose of this comparison, and a very strong one for both of them to end off on. Even in this lesser quality video footage, you can clearly see Hadi's trademark deep chest striations, round delts, and cut arms. His midsection is on point, and his quads are huge. Nick looks freaky here as well, having a controlled and developed midsection, bolder delts, and a great set of arms, and a strided chest. His quads don't look that bad here either, since he flares them outwards to create the illusion of additional sweep. Here's another look at Nick with some additional mass on him, and here his arms and delts look twice as freaky, and his chest looks thicker than ever. His quads look about the same, maybe a bit more sweep, however he is posing a little bit differently, but his overall body looks so much more massive. That being said, Hadi's insane conditioning and fine detail within his physique may be too much for Nick's freakiness to overpower. This is a pose that rewards freakiness and wow factor though, so I could see Nick winning for that reason. In my opinion though, I would go with Hadi, as his proportions, conditioning, and overall muscle quality are a bit better than Nick's. Alright guys, that about does it for this video. In summary, I think that Nick will definitely be a serious threat to Hadi at the 2024 Olympia. If he comes in with better conditioning and fullness and more size to that of his 2023 Arnold version, he may even be a threat to the title. His freakiness and mutant-like physique are undeniably impressive, and I think that he will be a tough challenge for Hadi. To be fair, Hadi's tremendous improvements from the Olympia to the Arnold were no joke, and if he can duplicate that for the 2024 Olympia, he may just win. With that all being said though, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.